So today I've got a very interesting personality. He's from a law firm, Mr. Siddhanth from Kadharani and Associate Legal Consultants. So Mr. Siddhanth, here we are. Thank you for coming to AQUA Properties. My pleasure to have you here. So let's introduce yourself first.
First of all, thank you, Faisal, for having me here. It's a pleasure being here and having this discussion with you. So my name is Siddhanth Kochhar. I'm a lawyer for the past 15 years or so. And I've been in Dubai for the past 6 years. And as you said, I work with Kadharani and Company Legal Consultants, which is Mr. Nahid Kadharani's legacy firm. And I have always been a disputes lawyer. And coming to Dubai, construction disputes and construction and advising on construction law and drafting of these kind of contracts has always been a specialization for me. It's a very different dynamic kind of a market. There are a lot of advantages and disadvantages when it comes to buying properties from developers or buying resale properties, and it's been worthwhile being here and helping people out with giving them clear, concise, sort of transparent advice for them to make well-reasoned decisions. And it's the law is ever evolving in the UAE, especially in Dubai.
Of course.
And I'm looking forward to have that discussion with you.
Yeah, thanks for the introduction. 15 years, which is a very long time, and I'm sure you must have gone with on all ups and downs in the market. There must be a lot of different situations you must have faced, including the contracts, the SPAs, the escrow accounts, the process of purchasing. Let's discuss. This is what our viewers actually they're looking for some answers. So let's discuss further. What is the process of buying a property when you buy from a developer? So let's start with due diligence. I think this is what people should look at it. When anyone who is buying, even if I'm buying a property, obviously being in the same industry, I go on this process again and again, and I'm sure you do this again and again as well. That's our daily. But for someone who is coming as a first-time buyer, so what is the first thing a buyer should look at when buying a property from a developer?
So there are many factors. I think the first factor is a discussion that buyer needs to have with himself or herself as to what is my budget, and kind of chalk out how you're going to be funding that property. In parallel, you need to look at the developer. Depends if you're going into the secondary market, but say we're going into the off-plan market, it is very, very important to go with a developer who has a decent track record in a place like the UAE. I don't want to name developers, but there are some high-ranked developers, there are some medium-sized developers, and then there are some people who have probably no experience, and they have a knack of enticing the customer into investing with them. And all of these things are important. So you need to do a proper market survey. You need to go on the social media really helps in understanding things. But if you want to be specific, you have to go to the land department website. You have to look at Property Finder, Bayouth. You need to speak to people who have lived in the buildings which those developers have already launched. Now, those people could have been home buyers themselves, or those people can also be renting in those buildings. But they will be able to give you an understanding of the maintenance, the services, the customer services, how they handle complaints, how they handle any kind of critique. When you narrow down that real estate developer, you need to also probably, the paperwork is there, definitely there. They'll give you your brochures. They'll give you what plans they have for selling the property. They'll give you a timeline, but make a visit to the projects that have been launched by them. Try to understand.
That's very important. Yes.
Try to understand how many projects do they have. Do they have only one project? Say, for example, there's a developer who is not based out of the UAE. Yeah. The actual people who own this company are based out of some other company.
Yes.
Could be a Gulf company, could be anywhere else in the world. And these people have one building, say in Marina or in downtown. It's a decent building in a very good location, and it looks fine. But it's only one development that they've had in the past 10 years. Now, why? There must be some reason for it. So if they're coming up with the next project, say after 10 years, you should be asking a lot of questions. Your hard-earned money is involved. Similarly, you should go to the show apartments that they would probably have.
Yes.
And understand what quality are they giving you, and what is the feel of that particular place when it's going to be made in the next 3 years or 4 years or more than that. And ask them a lot of questions. Look at their designs and drawings, and quiz them as to when is the handover date. You know, what happens if this handover date is not maintained by you?
Yes.
How will are we looking at a contract which is going to be equal for both of us, or will I keep on paying you money and your development is not going forward? So a lot of those things are very, very important, and it's a long-term relationship that you're going to have with the developer.
Of course, yes.
So you need to be very clear. And why I said you have to have this internal discussion with yourself is because you need to be honest with yourself, whether you can in fact afford that property or not. Because once the installments keep on getting accumulated, you know, you could have a difficulty at that time, you could have a cash crunch.
Yes.
And the developer is not going to then honor their relationship with you, because you're not honoring your relationship with them.
Yes.
So it's best to have that estimation. Be very clear about funding, because a lot of people think they will come here, they have a decent record, they have a good job, it's paying a good salary, and I can get a mortgage.
Yes.
But that's not how it works, because in real estate, an off-plan property is not going to get you a mortgage. The banks are not going to lend you any money.
Yes.
They will only lend you money when the handover happens. But the payment plan could be as such that 50% of the property has to be probably paid before the handover.
Yes.